Greetings, royal family. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video. Yo, this show is trash. Y'all know this show is trash, but it's fun. It's fun to review. I appreciate all of you who've been watching my reviews, dropping your comments. Hopefully, we'll have a good time on this one. Woo! Episode 7. I know I'm late, but I be in no rush to watch this show. I think there's 3 days left, 3 episodes left until we get to the end. I just want to see what's going to happen at the end. Anyway, make sure you are dropping your comments during the commentary. All right. So first up, again, this is day 7 in the house, and Dr. Ish pays Vado a visit from his hotel room. Now, he's not kicked out of the program. He is just separated from the house. So he's at the hotel. Dr. Ish is having a session with him. Meanwhile, back at the house, Judge Lynn meets with Tahiri. So we learned that Vado, his name, is an acronym for violence and drugs only. Lord help us all. Vado says that he thought that he could change Tahiri. He knew how she was. He thought that he could change her. Judge Lynn and Tahiri's convo, it didn't hold Tahiri accountable, for anything that she has done. So there was nothing to see there. I thought that because Judge Toller had Tahiri in the room, it was just them two. They were separated from everyone else, private conversation. I thought that she was going to talk about the anger that she displays. Nope, didn't happen. Anyway, Dr. Ish, he gave Vado some homework to do, basically an assignment to get him to recognize and acknowledge his anger. So Vado said something that was really interesting. He said that he witnessed Tahiri treating her other boyfriends like kings. I think that's what he said. I did not care to rewind to double check. If I'm wrong, please correct me respectfully in the comments. He said something along the lines like he saw her treat, or other girls, if not her, treat her boyfriends like kings. And he said he didn't get any of that. I thought that was very interesting. So I guess he thought that he could change her so that she would treat him like a king. Yeah, so much for that. Moving along, these two lovely couple, this lovely couple, I should say, Tony and Corrupt. So they're fighting as usual about some girl that Tony keeps calling homeless. He was texting her. She found the text messages in the phone. So, Tony, she storms downstairs and she's talking to the other housemates. And Tahiri tries to be the voice of reason. And I just giggled. I giggled because it's like she loves this attention. It's easy to point out what others are doing wrong and not your own indiscretions. Specifically, I'm talking about Tahiri. Anyway, it's time for the next drill. So Dr. Ish, he tells the group that Corrupt has an issue with alcohol. Does he, Doctor? Really? Because we noticed that since episode 1. Anyway, so Dr. Ish makes the executive decision to remove the brown liquor out of the house, and he wants to know if the other boot campers are okay with that. I could not stop laughing. Everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Now, with only 3 days left in the house, Dr. Ish thought it was wise to make this executive decision day 7, right? Anyway, the topic of discussion for the next drill was sex. Ooh. Right? So they played like a game of truth or dare. Shonda, she was dared to run in the sprinklers in her underoos. She ain't have none on, so she basically was twerking in the fountain. Willie didn't really want her to do that at first, but then he says, go on, Shonda, who am I to tell you what to do? Real rehearsed. So she goes on and does it. Tahiri was asked what's her fantasy. She said something about the Mile High Club. Corrupt was asked about his most embarrassing moment during sex. He basically had to stop to go do number 2. Gross. Tony was asked to mimic one of the couples in the house. She mimicked Phaedra and Medina, and Corrupt and her basically just stood there. They did nothing because, Medina ain't getting none. Phaedra is not giving it up. And Phaedra's question was, what's the most that you've, done it in a day? And she replied 4 times. And poor Medina, he just looked like, what, really? And Medina, he had a dare. So he had to make up a story of some sorts. And Phaedra, she sat in the chair next to him, and he put whipped cream on her feet and then licks it off. And the crowd was like, ooh, child, they are so, Phaedra is acting. Ooh-wee. Anyway, so we move on to Corrupt. He's conversing with his housemates about his drinking. Bottom line, as if we did not already know this, he has no intention on stopping. Point blank, period. So Tahiri, she says that she left her last relationship because her dude was drinking. I think that's what she said. I tend to kind of tune her out. So the boot campers, they're called to the boot camp room. So it is puppet time. Okay. So, they do this every season. They have these puppets where they have to simulate adult acts, and they have to kind of act out what their love life is like. So Tahiri, because Vado is not in the house, Tahiri, Dr. Ish has a doll of a random, says this is a random guy. Let's say this is a guy that you'd like. And he participates with her. He's a creep. Dr. Ish is a little creepy. So she says, as it pertains to, sex, like she wants a guy to make love to her mind. Whatever, Tahiri, sounds good. Moving along, we got Willie and Shonda. So they seem to have an active sex life despite all of their, cheating. I know Dr. Ish, he asked them what was it like between them physically when Willie started to cheat, like when all the cheating and stuff like that was exposed. And Shonda, she piled a whole bunch of pillows on top of her little puppet. Basically, she was closed off and she was just turned off, rightfully so. Baby, up next, Corrupt and Tony. Now, mind you, Tony is already over Corrupt. He was texting some girl. Again, Tony keeps calling her homeless. And she was over him. She's been over him since the beginning of this boot camp house, whatever, assignment, this show. And he's been getting on her nerves all night, all day. So she's over it, baby. When I seen Corrupt's puppet, honey, the puppet even looked drunk. How is that possible? Ooh, I could not contain myself. That puppet looked like he had a whole fifth of Henny. Okay? So they end up fighting about Corrupt messing around. He starts laughing, right? So that sets Tony off, rightfully so. She's really annoyed. She's over it. She's stressed out. And she starts to cry and she starts yelling. Now, when Corrupt, for real, why does Corrupt's puppet look drunk? When Corrupt told the puppet, because he was still like, participating in the assignment. So he told the puppet, stop that. Like when she was crying, I could not contain my laughter. I'm sorry, Tony. I am so sorry. So Tony, she went off. She just was over it. She's calling him out. And is it me or did Tony threaten Corrupt? She meant what she said, honey. Dr. Ish, he had to kind of like hold her back. And Corrupt is just sitting there unfazed. Totally unfazed, right? So, that puppet, they gave the brown liquor to the puppet, honey. Moving along. So Phaedra and Medina, and as usual, Phaedra is putting on, poor Medina thinks that he's getting closer to Phaedra's cookie jar. Poor guy. He, I don't know. Phaedra girl, we see right through all that Maybelline. Like, it's enough is enough. Anyway, moving on. It was nothing to see there. Moving on, we see Tony and Dr. Ish. He pulls her aside and Tony vents to Dr. Ish. She's tired. Corrupt. He's not going to change. Point blank, period. So Tony says that he was sleeping with another woman 2 days. She said this in the beginning of the season that, they had just gotten into a fight like 2 days before they started filming for the show. They had already signed up for the show. So apparently she caught Corrupt coming out the hotel room with this girl, his pupil. Y'all remember when Corrupt, when they did the podcast episode and Corrupt was like, yes, I had a pupil, and a pupil, Corrupt. Anyway, whatever. So Judge Lynn told her, she comes out and she shows up to give her final assessment. You know, she's proud of Willie because of what he said. She's proud of Phaedra for kind of opening up, Phaedra and Medina. You know, Judge Tola said that she thought that that Phaedra was just some eyelashes and lip gloss. I can't. So she tells Tahiri, you know, a bunch of BS about being a strong woman, yada, yada. Then she tells Tony that she is stuck on the chick that Corrupt is messing with, and she needs to choose happiness. Tony just wants Corrupt to tell her the truth. But here's my thing, right? There are some women, Tony is an example, who will stay with a man after he has cheated multiple times. Look at Willie and Shonda. Forget Tony. Look at Willie and Shonda. Willie done said he cheated 12 times. They still married. He was cheating before they got married. Tony knows what Corrupt is doing, right? But for whatever reason, she needs him to admit it. Like, I feel like if she ain't left yet, I doubt that this will be the straw that broke the camel's back, right? I mean, I know people get tired. I understand that, but Corrupt, why not just admit it? She done caught you. You done been caught red-handed. But even when you're caught, right, like you still lie. On the flip side, why does Tony need a confession when the proof is right in front of her face? He ain't Usher. Why you need him to confess? I don't understand. Help me out, y'all. What is it? The proof is in your face. The evidence is there. You catch them cheating. You catch them texting. You catch them coming out hotel rooms. And they deny it. But you know what it is. Why is it that some people need that confession? I'm not saying that Tony is wrong or she's wasting her time or anything like that. But what is that? What is that? Deceit. Y'all 7 days in the house and y'all not getting to the bottom of nothing. Y'all just wasting people's time. Anyway, Shonda and Tahiri, right? They decide to confront Corrupt. Now, you mean to tell me the two of them together were unable to realize that this was a bad idea? Y'all have a brain each. So the two brains put together thought that this was a good idea. Remember, they done removed the brown liquor from the house. You know, Corrupt, he got caught texting some girl, so Tony is on his behind, and y'all want to confront him about how he treats Tony? Whatever. Tahiri tells him that, you know, he says some foul stuff, and as they're talking, Tony, she comes outside, and she says her piece, so Tony is popping her junk, honey. She is talking cash money-ish. But this time, she's not yelling, right? But she seems like she has something planned once they leave the boot camp house, right? So she was like, go ahead and laugh. Laugh just like your B. She's not raising her voice. And then security comes out and addresses Tony. This had me hot and not in a good way. Security came out, y'all. Tony ain't throwing nothing. She ain't raising her voice. She had her drink in her hand, but she's calm. And security is approaching her. 2 security guards at that. So Tahiri, you know, ends up walking her back inside. Everybody disperses. And Corrupt, he says that he doesn't feel safe and that he wants to leave. He feels that Tony is going to do something to him. This is what he's trying to convince everybody to believe, shouting and hollering throughout the house at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, Phaedra and Medina, it seemed like they was about to get something started because Medina put a towel over that camera. And then you see Tony stomping down the hallway, and then she knocks on the door. And she wants to talk. Oh, no. I can't. So Corrupt, basically, he is walking around the house. He is losing it. He's on the phone. He's yelling about going home. He said, get my private jet. I want to go home. He's talking to producers. And it's obvious. Even Phaedra pointed it out, you know, it's obvious that he is going through withdrawal. He wants to get out of that house. Like Tony said, he wants to go and drink and kick it with his friends. So he's going through withdrawal. And Corrupt has no business in that house. He could be cool as a cucumber. He could have issues while he's drinking. They could get to the bottom of it, yada, yada. But he has no business in that house. Corrupt needs medical attention. And then 3 days before they're about to leave, you remove the brown liquor. That's something that should have been done before he stepped into the house. And now you want to do it because I guess things are dying down, and Dr. Ish gotta create, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have content for the viewers. That's the only reason why I think the brown liquor was removed from the house, because it's going to create what you saw Corrupt given. All of this, he's going through withdrawal, and they trash. Trash. Well, Royal Family, that's it for this episode. I ain't giving it too much. Let me know what you think. If I missed anything, drop it in the comments. I'll definitely respond and discuss with you guys. Be sure to like the video if you haven't done so already. And if you are new here, hopefully you enjoyed the quick commentary. Entertainment news, TV reviews, all that good stuff is on the channel. Be sure to check out all the other content. Hit the subscribe button. Click the notification bell. Make sure you select all. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. All right, I don't think I missed anything. So next week we're gonna see childhood trauma. So that should be interesting. We'll see what that gives. But three more episodes and then it's a wrap for this show. So Royal Family, I am signing off. I love you for listening, and until next time, peace.